Hey, Pastor Josh here. We're reading Genesis chapter 9, verses 1 through 7. Noah is now off the ark. He's off the boat, and now God is giving direction for life in the new world. And God blessed Noah and his sons and said to them, "Be fruitful and multiply." Our command is to be fruitful people. That is the same command that God gave Adam and Eve. And so God is restating the same command he gave to Adam and Eve to be fruitful and multiply. We are to be a blessing to the people around us. And then God goes on to say, "The fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, and upon every bird of the heavens, upon everything that creeps on the ground, and all the fish of the sea. Into your hand they are delivered." There's a promise for us to claim. We have the ability, we have the power to be to subdue and to rule over the earth. The fear of us will be put into the animals. So we have the ability and the power to rule over the world that God has created. And we do not need to shirk our responsibility to care for those things that God has put into our hands. And notice he says, "Into your hand they are delivered." And so here's what we will often, there's two errors that humanity falls into when we talk about the land, when we talk about creation, and we talk about us ruling over creation. The one error is that we don't utilize all the resources that the land has, and we end up protecting it so much that we don't actually take from it the things that God wants us to take from it that would then bless all of humanity. And so we can run into the error of making creation a world, or making creation a god. The other error we can make is that we can run roughshod over creation, and we can abuse it, and we can take so much from the land that we don't allow it to recuperate. We don't do it in a good stewardship way. And then in that case, the land won't give humanity all of the goods that it could offer to us because we have abused it and we didn't take care of it the way that we should. Both errors we can run into. We can abandon our ability to take things from the land and use it to bless humans. And then the other error is that we can just take and not be good stewards over the creation. We need to make sure that we're being good stewards, that we are blessing humanity through the resources that God has given us, but at the same time, watching over it and being good conservationists, if you will. Verse 3, "Every moving thing that lives shall be food for you." And so now God gives a new command, gives a new allowance. At the very beginning, Adam and Eve would have just ate produce, would have ate vegetables and fruit. And now God is saying meat can be eaten. "And as I gave you the green plants, I give you everything. But you shall not eat flesh with its life, that is, its blood. And for your lifeblood I will require a reckoning. From every beast I will require it, and from man. From his fellow man I will require a reckoning for the life of man." And so here is the command that you should not eat meat with blood in it. You should drain it properly, and you should cook it, and don't eat it in that raw state. And so there is, and obviously we know hygienic reasons why we should not just be eating meat with blood dripping out of it. But the reason for this command is that God values life. He does not value death at all. And then he has this command that he gives us. It's actually a death penalty command. He says, "Whoever sheds the blood of man, by man shall his blood be shed, for God made man in his own image." And so oftentimes we're taught that the death penalty is inhumane, it's incorrect. But in God's thinking, the death penalty is actually very humane because it protects life. God says if you're going to shed the blood of another man, by man shall his blood be shed. If you kill another person in cold-blooded murder, then you should also be killed as well. And that actually shows that we value the human life because the penalty is equal to the deed. And notice, the grounding for the command is for God made man in his own image. God does not want hatred in this world. God does not want violence. And actually the way to protect that violence from happening in God's economy, in God's thinking, is the death penalty. And of course, we would be taught different ways by our current systematic thinking. Verse 7, and you be fruitful and multiply. Increase greatly on the earth and multiply it. Again, God does not want violence. He doesn't want death. He wants there to be fruitfulness. He wants there to be multiplication. We are to rule over this earth and be a blessing to our fellow neighbor. So I ask you, how can you be a blessing to the people around you today? May God bless you, and I'll see you in the next video.